think it was Pinocchio, by the way. Inside the mouth of a whale.
Oh, is that what it was?
Call me Butcher Boy is the first line of Moby Dick.
Oh, is it?
It's Call Me Ishmael, but the Moby Dick reference.
I don't read.
No, I actually had to read it in high school, and that thing is like absolute confusion, that book.
Well, so it's a long story, but I'm doing this audiobook of The Great Expectations right now. And they actually, I read this and I've seen it all over.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times?
You can actually absorb more information if you're an auditory learner like I am through audiobooks than you can from reading, especially if you don't comprehend some of the material.
Yeah. So, shout out audiobooks. No, it's great.
So I'm all in.
I drove to upstate Washington a couple of years ago, pandemic, for a golf event at Gamble Sands.
Oh, what a great place.
David McClay Kid Course. I don't know if you've been there.
No, I've just seen it on Insta.
13-hour drive, and so I did my first ever audiobook, and it was incredible. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, really good. What about Brock?
I mean, before we get to Brock, we need to talk about the real heroic effort. Bonte Blinken-Hill. How did you make it back, dude?
That was.
I mean,
took the DeLorean.
Can you walk us through it? I mean, if you want to flex on a private jet, I respect it.
No private.
How did this work?
Took the Warrior plane.
You left here at 9:15. You left here at 9:15, 9:20. We held you late.
Got a haircut.
Great haircut, by the way.
Looks good.
I had a hat
No,
on,
it's okay. You still looking good.
Right.
I look forward to Guru's haircut today, coming up in 3 hours, because he also got a haircut.
He's got great hair.
You went from a changeover, you got a haircut, you went to Seattle, Lumen Field, you watched the game, you made it back. How'd you do it, Bonte?
It's pretty easy, man. TSA pre-check is a game changer.
Yeah, it is.
First time having TSA pre-check. You walk through the gates in 5 minutes. Boom, boom. You're on the flight. Now, Anna and I live about 5 minutes away from SFO. Maybe 10.
In
So
the
we
flight
get there.
pattern, or hopefully just outside the flight pattern?
Yeah, outside the flight.
Okay,
pattern. We don't get
that's
that
nice.
exhaust. We're not right there.
Shout out South City.
Yeah, shout out South City.
I'm
Shout
imagining
out
Dibs,
Bruno.
like doing the
Dude, those two orange pylons.
Shout out Bruno.
I need
by
you
the way.
over Bonte's house.
The guy on the field that tells you when to go to commercial. You
Totally,
know what
dude.
I'm talking
It's
about?
got a break, pilot.
Yes.
By the way, some breaking news. Klay Thompson added to the Warriors injury report. Right knee sore. It's questionable tonight against the Sixers.
Perfect.
Draymond Green also is questionable. and they're going to be without Steph Curry for a few weeks here. So,
Wait, so
that's
Steph
going on
is
with the
out,
Golden State Warriors.
Clay's out, Wiggins is out, and then now Draymond
Clay's
is out.
questionable.
Clay and Draymond are
Clay's
questionable.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which means
Clay's
they're
questionable.
probable. Questionable.
Dre's
Questionable
probable
is
for a
probable.
technical.
Dre's out if Clay's
Right.
out.
So
It's a
basically,
classic you're out, I'm out
So
moment.
basically, you've been to Seattle, right? Denver?
Yeah, it's a beautiful city.
The light rail gets you to the airport to Lumen Field in 30 minutes.
What time was your flight back?
Flight back was 9:50, departing at 9:50.
Very quick game, by the way.
Very quick game.
It was,
Lot
it
of
was
running.
cooked
Pound of
in
rock.
3 hours.
I was
exactly.
I stayed for the entire game.
Yeah.
Got out of there, got on the block, and said, you know what? Should we get back on a light rail? It's going to push it close. Let's just get the Uber. And the Uber got you from Lumen Field to the airport.
SeaTac.
Yeah.
SeaTac, yep. And then you then you get the TSA pre-check, get through the gate, 5 minutes, boom, we're on the flight. By the time we're in the air, as soon as it took off at about 10 o'clock.
Sleep.
I was knocked out.
Sleep. Yeah.
Knocked out.
Gone.
Next thing you know, and it nudges me, oh, we're at SFO. Quick taxi off the flight. We're home, and literally from the plane to home, 15 minutes.
Good for you.
Quick shower, went to bed.
John
and it was
Candy.
done.
Slept for about 4 hours.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
I like it.
Overall, about a 6 hour sleep that was broken up by getting from the
Okay.
plane
All right.
No, it's
to
good.
home. So
I
I'm
heard,
really-
I heard you
I'm
this
really
morning
impressed. I'm
in
really
studio,
impressed.
clearly in studio, and I'm thinking, this guy, man.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
Like I turned
How
it
can
on
you
and I
be
go,
the king and not be there?
they're looking at each
Bet
other.
not
Well,
miss.
how can he do what he's doing and you be the one without a voice right
I
now?
know.
That's what I want to know.
That's my practice.
Thank God this game was on Thursday. If it was on Sunday, you'd have lost your voice on a Monday and
I know.
ruined the whole week.
I know.
The
Good
biggest challenge was
Lord.
coming from Dallas last year. That was dicey.
Yeah.
That was dicey.
Well, you brought COVID with you.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes you got
I
to
mean,
travel.
I mean, you get two carry-ons on Southwest.
No, I may have taken COVID with me to Dallas. Who knows?
Seriously. I mean, that
knows?
thing's everywhere. So
I
who
know.
knows?
It was
Well,
a total
in
joke.
Texas-
I had basketball practice. That's how I. And then yes, yelling
Joe,
at the-
it's December.
it's
the
fine.
season doesn't start until January,
No, we
and you're
already
already
started.
voiceless?
we already started,
No,
but we've had
it's-
some.
The
Yes.
Flame Tournament?
It's fine.
No.
Do they still have the Flame Tournament,
They
by the way?
do. They do, and they also have other different tournaments. But we started 2 or 3 weeks ago.
And what are you coaching this year?
6th grade.
B's, of course?
No, A's.
Oh, you're doing 6th grade A?
Yeah, my
Boys
Wow,
or girls?
wow.
Boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We won it all last year, went undefeated. So we'll see what we do this year.
In the
It's-
5A, yeah.
No, in a 5-1
last year.
Yeah, 5A1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have 5A1 and 5A2.
I think
Is that top division?
Yes, they have 7. You can go and look. They have 7, I think, leagues in 6th grade this year.
In San Francisco?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I referee in Marin County, and I do the 4th and 5th grade Bs mostly, and we've got some like 4th and 5th grade B pluses. We got some B minuses.
27.5 ball.
And we've got some Cs. And I told my commish friend up there, who I won't name here because I'm a little disappointed that he hasn't enacted these changes, but we need to get the C-level teams to play each other.
You're here
because
with
the B pluses, I'm reffing
It's
a game.
not fair.
It's 31-1 at the half.
No one's winning.
And I got to go to the coach at halftime and say, Coach, do me a favor. I'm going to need your kids to stop playing defense.
Right.
I don't know if you're watching the same game I am, but this team will not score.
So a couple years ago, my little team was a B team, but we were going up against. All it takes is one player. One player on the court dramatically changes everything, right? Especially in basketball at that age. We're losing 54-2. And we have a kid trapped with less than a minute to go in the corner. 54-2
Oh, my God.
in a 6th grade game. Coach calls timeout. And I go to my team, stay on the court. Do not come over here. Stay on the court. The referee runs over to the coach and goes, what are you doing? She's like, what? We're running a play. And he's like, no, get back on the court, which I was so happy they did that.
Oh, yeah.
My wife, in the handshake line, was ready to strangle this individual. It's like, what are you teaching them? But I'm with you on this because watch the layup line. I know, for the most part, if there's a discrepancy, you know right away.
For sure.
And it drives me nuts.
Well, maybe we can have that conversation with the Sixers tonight if Clay and Draymond are out and see no defense in the second half for the Philadelphia
running
Sixers.
clock.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
seriously.
No defense.
Yeah.
Let's let the Warriors have a shot.
His guy was supposed to do TV, but it's not airing on the Sixers broadcast network because it's an ESPN game. A little simulcast. We'll play it out here on NBC Sports Bay Area, but in Philadelphia.
And so you're right back at it tonight? You're back on the grind?
Take another little nap. Take another little nap. Be ready to roll.
No, I wanted to make sure the cap got tipped to the king of all Bay Area media because this is how you become the king, Joe. And
hey, listen.
No.
Heavy is the crown.
No. Hold on.
It sounds better when I compliment you than when you compliment yourself, believe me.
No. Listen.
No.
It's a staple here in 95.7 The Game. Number one.
I'm going to hit you with a Roger Federer, a backhanded compliment.
Never met a host around here who did pat themselves on the back. Number one.
I don't mean to blow my own horn. Toot.
Hey, whenever you tell a joke, you look back at the glass to get the validation.
You've got
Dude, I heard that earlier.
Yeah, Shasky stole it from you, so now he does it all the time.
Well, in the new building, by the way, shout out the new building, and I've seen the layout. And the one thing I asked for, I said, I need to be in a spot where I don't have to turn around to get validation because I do that. Wow. And I turned back around to Mark, and Mark's looking at me like, why are you so needy? You don't need validation.
Yeah,
it's
why do you need to do
I need it, Mark. I need it.
We need a lack of validation sensation is what we need.
Number two, I apologize for that comment. I'm
It's
more
too
known
late.
as a humble guy. The streets are talking.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
No. You spit it out. You throw the tube away. No. The streets were saying, hey, you're the king.
I'm sorry.
I let it get to my head. And, I got triggered yesterday, so I had to pop my collar.
Barry Bonds is proud of your head size.
No. I'm falling back.
I hear Netflix is doing a new edition of The Crown, and it's going to feature Bonte Hill.
That's a two. That's a two.
He is a European soccer fan.
A mile away. That's a two.
I hope
I
hope it doesn't happen to Brock Purdy, especially with Joe screaming all over the internet.
Right.
He's him.
Great transition.
He's him.
Am I wrong?
Well, no. Yes, no, who knows?
But some of the things that you're seeing from this guy, I'm like, okay, he gets him to jump off sides last night. I'm like, wow.
My man.
And then they punted.
My man.
I know, but I don't care. But that was incredible.
I know. That was wild, wasn't it?
Offside. It's like,
that was so wild.
Right.
No, it was so wild. It was, we're going to do this, then penalty. Now we're going to gather back for 1 second. It's going to tick off. We're going to go to commercial. We're going to come back.
Right.
And then
and let me
the
say,
punter.
the entire break.
Where's Wisnowski doing out here? I'm like, what happened?
I came back in. I'm like, hold on a second. Pause the
I
grill.
couldn't believe it.
Are they did all that? And now we're gonna kick. That was a Kyle Shanahan flex.
It was. And
like
during
we don't
the
need to
entire
go
break,
for it. We're gonna win.
I was thinking, people at home are gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they went to the quarter break, Wisnowski was already on the field. He had made up his mind that he was gonna punt.
I still have my jaw drop on Purdy though, because I'm like, that is a next level move, and these are the subtle things, the pocket, moxie, and all that stuff, and the accuracy. That's all obvious.
Smart.
Him sliding inbounds with the ball out. My jaw dropped.
No, his presence, his poise. Kyle Shanahan said it.
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, listen, it has to be, and I know we're all trying hard to just stay in the moment.
It's so hard.
But it's tough to not let your mind sometimes think about where this is all going in the larger sense than just this year. Like when Trey Lance is on the team and Kyle Shanahan's coming to the podium after the game and saying, "I've never seen such poise in a rookie."
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, oh my gosh, like these are big statements, and we're not at 7 quarters. Now we're at 11 quarters, and you've got the road game and the division and all the rival, like
in Seattle,
the 12th man.
In Seattle. They took over Seattle.
He has checked so many boxes in 3 weeks. It's impossible to
Big box Brock.
Yeah, it's impossible to not think.
Big socks.
Look, like
dude,
this could be something large.
I never felt up in Lumen Field that they were going to lose that football game. I haven't felt like that in a very long time.
Right.
Or it was just Purdy was at ease. His patience in the pocket. Shanahan was at ease with the masterclass that he was putting on. The defense was flying around. And like the touchdown throw to George Kittle, the second one.
Was sick.
Kittle broke open late. Where I was sitting, he broke open late. Purdy, that was like the 4th read.
Right.
And he sat back there, and he's like, Kittle, and I'm yelling like, Kittle's open. And Purdy just calmly. He definitely heard me. He definitely heard me.
No, he
definitely heard me.
He sees it.
Yelling Kittle.
He sees it. We've talked for years.
He didn't really hear me, but he definitely heard Shasky from the basement.
No joke.
That's for sure. I heard Shasky.
Listen, if Aaron Judge was afraid of us, then Brock Purdy's afraid of you, for sure.
I'm hitting Aaron Judge every at bat for a series.
We've talked for 5 years about the idea of the quarterback seeing it. Whatever it is.
He sees the field.
He sees it,
yes.
and he executes it, and it's incredibly, incredibly exciting.
Cinderellas. Let me ask you this, guys.
My gosh.
Cinderellas. Like, I was thinking Vogelsong, Dwight Clark, because he's a 10th round pick. Could have gone undrafted. Bill Walsh stands up, we're taking this guy, and everyone's like, dude, he can be an undrafted free agent. Dwight might be one of the great Cinderellas of all time. Name anything close to this. Kaepernick was not a Cinderella.
You got to see where it goes.
Round pick.
You got to see where it goes. But it has the makings of the best story that's ever. I mean, Mr. Irrelevant.
I know.
Well, what are we talking about here?
Like, forget that part of it. 4 words for me. He is a rookie. So you could look at Dwight Clark and like Vogelsong. Mm-hmm. He had played in 3 different countries by the time he became Vogie. And Dwight Clark, he played in the SEC. And, he came on and he made a huge impact. But this guy is a rookie at the most important position in all of sports.
Dibs didn't even believe me. We're in the other room talking about him. And I said, he's 22. He goes, no, he played 4 years of college. He's 24. Yeah. I'm like, no, he's 22.
Yeah, 22.
He's 22 years old. Look at this. And I know we're making a lot about the 4 years of college, and that's fair. It is a factor here. But a lot of college players play 4 years of college.
3 years.
You have to play 3.
Right. Yes.
You have to be 3 years removed from high school to even come to the league. So there are a lot of people who have 3 and 4 years of college who do not show up and look like this.
The coach is telling you, when they're on the 1 yard line, we're all thinking the same thing. 3 runs, get a little bit of room. Don't get a sack here.
Yeah.
Like this is a
don't run out of the back of the end zone.
Don't do anything. He throws on first down, and I'm like, what are we doing? And then they on third down, after a little McCaffrey run, they throw again.
We've come a long way.
The coach is telling you what he thinks about him, not us. Like the coach is telling you.
My man, I mean, they clinched the division like a week before Christmas.
You got to bubble wrap Brock immediately.
Don't even.
You got to get that 2 seed.
Exactly.
Got to get that 2 seed.
No, you got to just keep playing. You got to keep playing. We'll see. Wow, I'm triggered. So
why?
First of all,
he's a dirty player.
It felt like he was in the backfield on every play.
and had 1 sack, and I'm like, that's not even indicative of
this roughing the passer thing has got to be addressed by the league.
Well, he addressed it. Nick addressed it himself.
It's game-changing.
Addressed.
Game's over.
Not only is it
28-3.
This is a blowout.
Thank you.
This is a blowout. So the people who are like, man, all that's happening, this is still a 1-score game late.
Real quick.
That was a blowout.
Real quick, we got some breaking news when it comes to Stephen Curry. He's speaking with the media right now in Philadelphia, and he mentioned the shoulder injury, and he said surgery would have been 4 to 6 months. Nobody's trying to deal with that right now. He said surgery was ruled out after the MRI. Okay. So it was discussed. He immediately ruled it out, said he could have been out 4 to 6 months.
The fact they're even suggesting that does not make me feel comfortable.
No, did he tell you the nature of the injury?
He says this. He says, has to wait out the pain before more extensive rehab. Front end of this healing process will be slower than the back end. So it could be 2 weeks. It could be 4 weeks. It could be 6 weeks.
I had it 4 to 6 initially. 4 to 6. I thought that it was a partially torn labrum, and if it was a completely torn labrum, as I had, it is a 4 to 6 month.
Yes,
and it's a complete shutdown. And I'm curious to see how long they wait, because if it is a partially torn labrum, or if there's any sort of damage to the shoulder, the one thing he can't do, which he's become so good at, is the left-handed layup. Any motion with your shoulder above ear height becomes a very vulnerable spot, let alone behind the shoulder. So I hope that he's able to quiet this down. Yeah. 4 to 6, come back, and
even that feels optimistic.
He's speaking right now. Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game insider on Twitter, posted a video of Steph Curry speaking. Looks like it's about a minute and a half. So
Slates gets me every time.
It's me doing Mark doing Kapler.
But it gets me every single time.
Slates, baby.
Slates, obviously. It's in the late innings. If you're not going to use Slates, then why would he be on the roster?
Cap and I are homies now, so I can do that.
Just a quick aside.
Infinite number of quarterbacks.
Anthony Slater, what's his Slater?
Austin Slater.
Austin Slater.
AC Slater?
AC Slater.
The fact that Austin Slater was trying to find out what was going on with the baseballs, and Major League Baseball's like, you are not good was like one of the funniest unspoken
We're going to wait for everyday players to have this conversation.
And just real quick on the baseball, we were talking about Kirk Gibson yesterday and his homer in '88. Oh, yeah. That thing had to be an absolute golf ball. You watch the way he doesn't go forward, bad leg, flips the bat, barely backhanded flip, and that thing goes 390.
On Ken Burns' baseball doc, Bob Costas,
Mr. PBS over here.
Yes, Bob Costas being interviewed. He goes, I'm in the Dodger dugout, and all I hear is grunt, grunt, grunt. And it's Kirk Gibson hitting off of a tee, and he goes up to Lasorda. I got one good swing in me. He swung 4 times in that at bat and fouled off 3 of them.
Wow. He was right. He only had one good swing at him. 3 bad ones.
You can't tell me he wasn't on some sort of something
enhancement.
Thank you.
Yeah, who knows?
A bunch
I
of them
hate
are.
him so much.
Nobody homers off Eck, and this guy backhanded flips one out into right center.
He did hang one. Eck did hang one.
Yeah.
He was right in the middle of the box.
He fouled off 3 straight back. I'm like, he's on him.
Yeah.
Man, so we're going to be feeling good up until about 3:30. Warriors play the Sixers. Oh, man.
No, keep the Brock low.
Yeah,
keep
the Brock
keep
low.
the Purdy glow.
For me,
keep the
Purdy low.
What about McCaffrey?
How about this? You mentioned McCaffrey. So we were just having this conversation in the other room, and it started with Charvarius Ward because I said,
Mooney.
I'd like to know who – yeah, thank you. Don't call him Charvarius. Mooney Ward, give me a better free agent signing in the NFL this year. And then we started talking about it, and you think about acquisitions and – the free agency, it's actually hard to remember some of these guys.
Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller actually came up, and now he got hurt. But those 2 guys are probably at the top of the list. But if you start to add – oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say start to add in acquisitions by trade, then John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan in the group, they get the nod potentially on that one as well. Like McCaffrey and A.J. Brown – maybe
and A.J. Brown was a great trade.
Great trade.
Great trade for them.
Like those have got to be the 2 best acquisitions of the year, right?
Yes.
They haven't lost since Christian showed.
I heard the King earlier talking about, I only refer you to that because I'm about to praise you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
But you actually,
like you should.
You mentioned it. Look at you over there. You mentioned that John Lynch should be getting serious consideration for Executive of the Year. And if you go through all of the stuff he did.
It was a consideration.
Back to the slow playing of Debo, the Greenlaw extension, the McCaffrey acquisition, all the rest of it, King, sir, Your Honor.
And
you had it right.
And
just like it dines for multiple companies, baby.
And Kyle Shanahan should be coach of the year. Absolutely.
Over Sirianni?
Absolutely.
Because of the circumstances?
3 quarterbacks.
I know.
What's Sirianni look like? Someone tell me who the Eagles' 3rd quarterback even is.
Their only real big injury is Jalen Davis, and most people don't know who that is.
Yeah,
the tackle out of Georgia.
Josh McCown is what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm just I'm going to flex a little bit. The King got to flex.
The Eagles are
the King
fantastic.
had it wrong about Offensive Rookie of the Year. The King had to backpedal once Spadoni rattled off like 7 other candidates, but So
that's what the kids here for.
Well, he brought it up.
The car
listen, he brought it up. I had to think about who the rookies were. I was like, well, Sauce and
your
his
eminency,
defense.
you did jump on board quickly, and then you did have to do your quick Deion Sanders. Boop, boop, boop. You did back the truck up a little bit.
Is DK Metcalf?
It's just hey, real quick, we've backed the truck up all football season.
Yeah, that's fine.
It started in week 1, Chicago.
No. Have you guys deleted your Trey Lance video yet?
No.
Why would we?
Because I know that the index cards
Who took down the cue cards? Who took them down?
I don't know.
So because there's going to be a training camp battle next year.
On your mind at that moment.
If Trey Lance ain't dead yet.
Today's not about Trey. DK Metcalf was created in a laboratory. Tell me another guy whose body is built like in a sport of gladiators.
I got body envy.
In a sport of gladiators, he pops off the. My wife goes, "There's no way that guy."
He looks like LeBron.
He
looks like LeBron. Looks like LeBron James.
Unbelievable.
And Mooney Ward was in his bag after 3 plays.
I couldn't believe it.
After 3 plays, he was frustrated.
I can't remember.
And got flagged.
I can't recall the last 49er to just shadow a wide receiver like that in that scheme. Where I was like, wait a minute.
DK.
He's lining up on the left. He's lining up in the slot. There's Mooney Ward right there with the number 7 taking on that challenge. That signing alone is big time. We've been yelling about cornerback.
Richard Sherman, when he was a Niner, he wouldn't travel.
No,
he
didn't travel.
Sherman won't travel.
He won't travel.
Technique.
That's not what he does.
Stop it.
That's not what he does.
Dude.
And quietly Sherman during the Super Bowl year, the last 3 games. He started.
Stop it with your bail technique. I can't even handle it.
Leave that one alone.
I can't even handle it.
Leave that one though, because Mooney Ward's bail technique is really, really good. What about Diamador Lenore's bail technique?
We were talking in the green room, and I'll throw this out to you guys because I was asking, and this is a great compliment to the defense, but who is their worst defensive player? You'd be hard pressed to think about who's the worst guy of their starting 11.
I mean, it might be their second D tackle in the front. But I
TJ McGill.
Kyle threw out Kerry Hyder, and it's like if Kerry Hyder's your worst defensive player, you're doing pretty well.
He was your best defensive lineman in 2020.
Yeah.
No, I'm not joking. Go back. I think he had 6.5
No, he got
sacks.
paid by Seattle.
No,
he got paid by Seattle
last night, or as
and then he walked off
Herb
the
Street
field.
would call him Ubukum.
Did he call him Ubukum?
He might have called him Ubukum.
Ubukam. Who's that? Jason Witten?
Kerry Hyder, 8.5 sacks in 2020.
No, you're right. Yeah.
We did that conversation led to this comment about Hufanga because
Hufanga?
You love Hufanga? No, he's phenomenal. However, he is on the borderline of reckless some of the time, which is great.
The tackle on Geno.
But it also feels like once a week he goes the wrong way and somebody is by themselves down the field.
Yeah.
Their defense is so good that it's fine.
But you got to clean
that touchdown to Will Disley, I mean,
and that worries me against Philadelphia.
The Bears game. The Bears game. Tyreek Hill. They've only given up.
Pettis.
Right. They only give up a few.
But that's not his strength. His strength is playmaking, separating people from the ball.
He's great. He's great.
But you know what?
I guarantee you in the film room, they're like, you want to go from really good to great.
But I don't think you get...
You got to clean it up. He got bailed out with the holding call. Mike Evans was wide open. Fonga was yelling around. He didn't know where to be.
You're on fire. Dude, you are on fire. This might be your best performance
No, I could not wait to get here. Ththese are the days, Victory Monday, a.k.a. Victory Friday.
Were there donuts
They
today?
clinched the division
No payday.
on the road in Seattle.
Thank you.
And you've got 3 games left to go.
Wow, Tibbs out here throwing subliminal messages at me, man. I don't like it over there. You feeling yourself too hard.
Whatever, kid. I'm off until January 3rd. What are you going to do?
Yeah, this is it for him.
This is it for me.
Last show.
So you're
Last show of the year.
Oh, so you're bringing out all the A material to make sure you don't get Wally Fest. I see what you're doing.
The clip.
Yes.
When you have a baby, as you know, Bonte, you get a thing called paternity leave. First time I had babies, there was no such thing as paternity leave. It was, hey, Dad, you don't have ovaries.
Yeah.
Get back to work. But this time around, as Spadoni knows, I got a healthy dose of PTO.
Well, you should have seen him when Alan Styles filled in. Alan, you were so good. Oh my God, you really got me worried during 9 to 12. He was like,
and Bonte's like, "Oh, you dab him up like you don't even dab Shasky." I said, "Me and Shasky have come a long way now.
We have.
How dare you try to drive a wedge between
Blood
me
brothers.
and my brother over here?"
He's Dibs.
Energy
I'm a
was
big
different.
Styles guy.
Energy was different.
I'm a big Styles guy.
Days confused. Opening scene. School's out for summer.
Yeah.
That's you today. You're Mitchy. Come on, have you no one ever seen Days
Dude,
Confused?
I love that movie. Air Raid, you freshman witches.
God.
Yeah, dude, trust me. As soon as the show ends today at 12:25, I am running.
I need one more joke from the both of you, and I both simultaneously need you guys to look back at Spadoni for the validation sensation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a buck.
That's a buck for sure.
Cha-ching!
Push me out one time.
Well, during the changeover, I got to do the step over.
Yep, it is. By the way, it's always a step over. Yeah. I wish you guys would just wheel your heads.
Were you able to
it's full shoulders.
Hold on. Were you able to get the coffee stains out your pants and your shirt?
Haven't tried yet. They're sitting in the hamper.
It's a wrap.
Don't you worry. No.
24-hour rule. The stains are soaking in.
I got tricks. I got laundry tricks. Don't worry.
I'm
got
looking forward to 12:01 when you guys and Steiny have some sort of an altercation about sports. I'm ready.
You know
for
what
it.
that'll be, right? An altercation sensation.
I should have known that.
It's the first time.
What should we yell at?
Well, no.
What should we yell about today?
I actually thought it was a fascinating conversation yesterday when he was saying that, okay, Curry's out.
True to this.
Now let's see what Dre and Clay have, because I hadn't considered that. And the way that he phrased it, I was very fascinated. I said, this is a very interesting conversation. I was listening to everybody go back and forth. I'm just curious what he's got today for the Niners. And obviously this Curry news, it'll be interesting to listen to. I love the changeover.
Or if he's even on the Niners, he might be on the Warriors again. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't even know if he watched the game. No, I know he did.
The division
he's all in on Purdy. Steiny's all in on Purdy. Guru's because he's coming in every single day with his Cowboy jerseys, the Micah Parsons, Mrs. Street Special, the Cowboys hat. Now, Guru spent some money for the Cowboy jerseys.
I'm a Dodger fan.
Are you now? Well,
he's on his way in right now. You know he's listed right now.
Yeah, Guru.
How worried are Cowboy fans?
Nobody's on the Odyssey app more.
I got accused of a rat-a-tat-tat yesterday on Goose, so I'm going to go ahead and lay it. Because apparently Mark and I went tag team.
I love him.
Shout out, Whoop, there it is.
Because I went pow, and Dibs didn't defend him enough. Guru's in a sensitive spot this week.
He was Ricky in the alleyway.
We love you, Guru. We love you, Guru.
I cannot handle that reference.
What was the drive-by?
Well, first of all, look.
He whooped your ass in fantasy.
No. It wasn't that. And by the way, you know what I found out? I found out I did. This actually helped my mental health. I went back in because I needed to beat Goo and get help, and I didn't get the help. So even if I had beat him, I'd have lost anyway. So that made me feel better. So no, it had nothing to do with that. No, I came down his road yesterday, tongue in cheek, because literally the day after he used the words "I'm out on Farhan," they signed Carlos Correa.
I mean, we all kind of use those words.
And literally a week after he said, I'm done with Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers haven't lost a game since. So I sort of, I was like, you know what, Guru, anybody who's struggling, we should have you criticize
Mark
them.
Saying,
so that's why he turns it around.
Now I get it. Shasky, now I get it.
It's all playful love, Guru.
I get it now.
Plus, if you stop wearing a Cowboy jersey, I'll be nicer to you.
I get it now.
That's the point.
A lot of people, for some reason, confuse Guru and I. I mean, maybe the color of skin. But they were like, oh, I thought you were Guru.
Well, he's got better hair.
But
look,
which
part
a jersey.
Which part
is it authentic or is it a replica?
Which part of the head are we talking about, Bonta?
Is it a replica or is it authentic?
Right.
Is it a replica? I'm kidding, Goo.
But this is why.
But no, seriously. But no, Goo. A lot of people coming down my road saying I wanted Shanahan out of here. I was like, I never said Shanahan was on some hot seat. I was highly critical of Shanahan.
You wanted me to hold him accountable and have him do the walk of shame like Game of Thrones.
I hope this year. I hope this year, and I know, right? It's the fan experience is to go
erratic.
Right, is to go all over the place, and that's fine.
Short form,
but I do hope that this year helps people understand nobody's perfect, but the 49ers have a really good coach.
No. And a really good coach.
They have a really, really, really high-level NFL coach.
He is a winner who has created a level of toughness in the culture of the team. He's built a bully.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Shanahan Lynch, one of the best combinations of pro sports. Or in the NFL. I mean, not pro sports.
Do me a favor. Get some sleep, bro. You've done the
He's
yeoman's
got
work.
the bad throat. He can't talk.
Is that binoculars?
You just do binoculars
Dibs.
in our faces.
This is what kings do. This is what kings do.
The king is here.
We fight through adversity. We take red eyes.
I'm Kingslayer.
We make the show at 6 a.m.
Not a red eye when you're in the same time zone.
Hey, King. Hey, King. Hey, see if you can exit the building without spilling crap all over me today, okay?
I got you.